Hey, what's up users? This is John at Muse for You, and in today's video tutorial we're going to be recreating this website here. So if I hit refresh, we can see we have an animation. It says premium coffee, the best quality, and here it says order your coffee beans, and when you hover over it gives you a price and you can click on it and it'll actually take you to PayPal. So I'll go back here, and then the animation plays when the site starts up again. And then we have a fixed background kind of parallax effect there. And then here we have a subscription plan. So we have the starter, just started drinking coffee, and when you hover your mouse over it, this panel flips, and we have 3 bags a month for $9.99. Then we have frequent, says I love coffee. When you hover over it, we have 7 bags a month, $19.99, and then we have every day, I cannot live without coffee. And when you hover over it, it says 10 bags per month, $29.99. All right, so very nice effect. And then down here is where we can actually click to purchase these plans. So we have starter, frequent, and every day. And again, if I click on any one of these, it'll take me to PayPal. Oops, so let's try that again. Yeah, so there we have the price, and we can pay for it when we sign into PayPal there. Okay, very good. So in this website, I used Edge Animate for this animation here, and this is actually from MuseThemes. This is a new widget that came out for MuseThemes just recently, where you can add your custom Buy Now button, or you can use their Buy Now button, and this is one of them here. They have a few others, but I really like this one because you hover over it and then it shows you the price, and then you can click and purchase, and it has the shopping cart here to let you know that it's a product that you can purchase. Okay, and yep, and then this also here is from MuseThemes as well. So these flipping panels are from MuseThemes, and again I have the PayPal button here from MuseThemes. So we're going to be using Edge Animate, we're going to be using widgets from MuseThemes, and of course Adobe Muse to create this website. This fixed background kind of parallax effect here was created in Adobe Muse as well. Okay, so we're going to be using those tools today to create the website: Edge Animate, MuseThemes, and Adobe Muse to create this website. So let's begin. Okay, so if we look at this website here, we're going to rebuild this website. So we have these different illustrations here and graphics. I actually got this graphic from freepik.com. So if I go to freepik.com and I typed in coffee beans, and then this image came up, and it actually, I think it came up through, oh, here it is, yep. So it's right here. And then you can just click on it and you can download it for free. Just be sure to credit freepik.com when you download it. So I'll click free download, and then they give you a link here where you can put it on your website or kind of have a reference to them when you use one of their images. Okay, so I downloaded this file. It's an Illustrator file. So I'm going to open that folder where I've downloaded it, and I'm going to go to images, and it's called Retro Coffee Poster. So I'm going to double click in there, and when you first download it, it's a zip file, so just double click the zip file or right click and extract to a folder to extract that zip file. So I'm going to click on Retro Coffee Poster here, and then here we have the AI file. Here they have a JPEG as well, so that's the JPEG of the file. But I'm going to open this in Illustrator, so I'm going to right click, open with Adobe Illustrator here. Yep, I had 2 versions there, but I want to pick the latest version. Okay, so here we have the image. So what we want to do is select each of these sections individually, and luckily the way this Illustrator file was made, each of these sections is kind of its own group. So we have the coffee cup, the premium, the coffee text there, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see a bit better there. Yep. So we have the premium, the coffee cup, the coffee word there, and the best. Oops. The best. I didn't use this coffee cup here. And then we have quality here and these 2 stars. So I'll just show you how I save them individually. So basically I just clicked, so I'll click on coffee here until it's selected. So we have the word coffee there selected. So I hit Command C to copy, or Control C if you're on Windows. And then I go to File, New in Illustrator, and I'll click OK. And then I'll hit Command V to paste. As you can see, the artboard is a lot bigger. So to wrap the artboard around this word coffee, I just go to Object, Artboards, and Fit to Artwork Bounds. And now we can see that that space is just around the word coffee. So then I went to File, Save for Web, and I saved each one as a PNG-24. I set it to a transparency, and yep, clip to artboard is checked. That looks good. And then I click on Save. Okay, and I'll just save it to here. And I'll save it as coffee 2. I've already saved these images, so that's fine. And actually, let me check something. So if I click on Save for Web and I uncheck Clip to Artboard, yeah, sometimes you want to uncheck Clip to Artboard if you have things that are really circular. I think in this case I was okay because I did clip to artboard, but if you don't clip to artboard, what it sometimes does is adds a little tiny more space around some of the elements so that the artboard isn't pressed up against the graphic. Sometimes if it's pressed up too much against the graphic, you might lose a little bit of pixels on the end, and that won't look too good if it's like a circle or a rounded edge. And so you don't want that edge to be cut off and not be like a perfect, circular area. But in this case, I was okay. I saved all my images and I didn't run into that issue. But yeah, just know if you ever do run into that issue, just uncheck Clip to Artboard so you don't cut off any of the edges. Okay, so yeah, basically I saved all the elements that way. So I went, I'll do premium. I just hit Command C, copied that. And then I can delete this, Command D to select all and then delete, and then Command V to paste, and then Object, Artboards, Fit to Artwork Bounds, File, Save for Web, and click Save, and then, Premium 2. All right, so very good. So I'm actually not going to go ahead and kind of save all these again because I've already done that, but just go through each of these, just copy and paste it into your new, the Illustrator file that you created, and then just fit each of them to fit the artwork bounds to, how's that called? Object, artboards, fit to artwork bounds, so it's not, you don't have all this extra space. So I did that for this coffee cup, for premium, coffee, the best, and quality, and I grouped these stars with quality there. Very good. So that's all I took from this image, or used from this image. And so now what I want to do is open Edge Animate. So I'm going to go to Edge Animate. So I'm going to open that up real quick. I'm going to go to Applications, Adobe Edge Animate, and I'm going to click on Create New. And I want to make the width of this artboard to 960 because that's the default size for an Adobe Muse website. And then for the height, I think I want to set it to, I set it to 650 because I need a bit of space to add this animation. All right, so there's our stage in Edge Animate. So now I'm just going to go to those images that I saved. So they're right here. Right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 images here. So I just select them all, and I can hold down Shift to select multiple files. And I'll select them all and then click, hold, and drag onto Adobe Edge Animate. All right, so there are all the elements, and I'll just unclick and I'll put all these elements in one by one. And I did make this coffee a little bit smaller, so to do that you just hold down Shift and then you just drag in. Oops, let me undo that. You hold down Shift to retain the proportions. And there we go. For some reason it was kind of acting a little wonky there, but that's a good size. And again, even if I wanted to, yeah, I could even do something like that. Right now it's working good. Okay, so there I've resized the word coffee, and now I'm just gonna grab quality here, and I'm just gonna put this outside of the stage, and I'll show you why in a second. And premium, I'm also gonna put outside of the stage, like right up here. And then best, I'm also gonna put, oops, sorry. Yeah, so I'm gonna put best right, actually, I remember, yeah, the way I did this, I kind of lined up these right here, kind of lined them up first. So the best right there, that looks pretty good. Okay, it's not perfect, I think that's okay. I didn't use this, so we're gonna remove that. And then I use this coffee cup, I put it right here. And actually, yeah, let's line everything up first, so that looks good. Premium, and then quality. Yeah, this is actually what I did. I arranged everything first to how I wanted it. So I'm gonna move this up a little bit as well, closer to the top there. So yeah, so first order all the parts, and then I'll show you how to animate it. So the premium quality coffee. All right, that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll just drop this down a little bit more. And you can hold down shift. Let's say if you just want to bring it down, you can hold down shift and it'll retain, it'll stay in place and just go down, or you hold down shift and go right and left, and it'll stay in its kind of, it'll move in a linear fashion. It won't move like kind of in a path. Yeah, and that's holding down shift and just moving it there. All right, so yeah, now I can move these down. I can hold down shift and press down the down arrow to move down in increments. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Coffee, the best quality. And maybe I can move this over like that, kind of like that. Maybe I'll move it over to the right a little bit. Yeah, that looks good there. Maybe one more. Coffee, the best quality. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yep, that looks good there. And I like the coffee cup there, that looks good. So now we can go ahead and animate it. As you can see, it looks a little bit different than that initial image, but we can kind of move the elements because we saved them each individually, so we can move them around and create our animation. So the next thing we're going to do is animate these elements. So to do that, I'm going to go to the 2-second mark because I don't want this image to be over 2 seconds, this animation, to be over 2 seconds. So I start at 2 seconds, and I'm going to start with the word quality. Actually, I'm going to start with the word premium. So I'm going to select premium, and I'm at the 2-second mark. I'm going to create a keyframe on the y-axis, because the premium is going to come from the top to the bottom. So we just set a keyframe at the y position, and we started at 2 seconds because the image is at 0. It's going to be out of the stage at 0 seconds, and then when 2 seconds pass, it's going to come down, and at 2 seconds it's going to be right at the spot where we see it. So we set it to 2 seconds. At 2 seconds, we set the keyframe exactly where it is now on the y axis, and then we go back to 0, and now we can hold down shift and just move it out of the stage a little bit higher. Now, the higher you move it from the stage, the quicker it's going to come in, because within a 2-second speed, it needs to come in from that point to the point where we initially had it. So if you go way up high, it's going to come in super fast because it only has 2 seconds to reach from the point where you put it, if it's high, to the point where it's supposed to be. All right, so basically we can see how that looks. So you can see that's very slow. Now, I don't want it that slow, so I can actually, even to make it faster, another thing I can do is move the keyframe to 1 second, and there it's a little bit faster. I can even do 0.5 seconds. And I like that. It just very fast comes in. Now for this coffee here, what I did, it's actually an interesting effect that I've never used before. So we select coffee, and if we go to filters, we have this Hue Rotate right over here. So I want this to last like 1 second, this animation. So at 1 second, we're gonna set the Hue Rotate to, we're gonna set the keyframe on the Hue Rotate, and then we're gonna go back to 0 at the beginning of the animation, and we're gonna set the Hue Rotate to 360. All right, so if we hit play, you can see that this changes color, and let me set the animation to 2 seconds, and so we can see it better changing color. So that coffee is actually changing its hue, it's changing color, which I think is really great. And then the other thing I did was I set a blur motion, or blur effect. So here where it says blur, at 2 seconds I add a keyframe of blur. So it's at 0, and that's what we want because we want it to go from blurry to non-blurry. So then we go back to 0, and we set the blur to, let's say, 50. Okay, 50 is good. I mean, you can go really high, but it just looks, you can't even tell what it is. I think 300 is the highest, but I want to set it to 50 because 50 looks good. And then if I hit play, you can see that comes in. And I actually like that. It's nice and blurry, and then the blur turns into just the graphic coffee. All right, so now with this cup here, what I did is I had it rotate. So to have it rotate, I can go to the rotate keyframe in the transform, right under transform. In the rotate keyframe, I add a keyframe here for rotate at the 2 second mark. Then I go back to the beginning at the 0 mark, and I set it to 360 rotate. So if I rotate, or actually I kind of did that the wrong way because I want to rotate clockwise. So what I want to do is start the keyframe rotate at the 0 point at the beginning. So we set the 0 degrees keyframe right here. We just click there, that diamond kind of symbol right there to add the keyframe. Then we go to 2 seconds, and then we add 360 here. Okay, so now we set it from 0 to 360. So now if we hit play, this animation, this coffee cup here goes in a clockwise motion. All right, very good. So now the best, the best, we want it to come in from the left to the right. So we're gonna start at the 2 second mark. So I'll select the here. And then we're gonna set a keyframe on the x-axis because we just want it to move horizontally, not vertically. So I click on the x-axis keyframe here, this diamond symbol, and then I'm just gonna go back here to the 0 second mark, and then just hold down Shift and drag this right here, right out of view. Okay, so if I hit play, we can see the comes in there, and then I'm gonna do the same with best. So I'll click on best, and I'll click the X keyframe right there, and again I'm at the 2 second mark, so I'm going to bring the marker all the way to 0 here on my timeline, and then for best I'm just going to hold down Shift and drag to the right outside of the stage right there. Okay, now if I hit play, we can see the best, and the best come in from left and right. Now they're coming in a little bit slow, so I'm going to go to best, and I'm just going to add this keyframe to the 1 second mark, or just bring in that keyframe to the 1 second mark, and the same for the, very good. So if I hit play, that looks good, the best right there. And then for quality, I'm at the 2 second mark, so I want it to come in from the bottom to the top. So I'm going to add a keyframe on the y-axis because we just want it to move from down to up, so like up and down. So I insert a keyframe on the y-axis, and that's at the 2 second mark, and then I bring it back to the 0 second mark here at the beginning on the timeline, and then I just hold down Shift and drag quality down to there, right out of the stage. And we have some nice grids that let us know when it's right outside of the stage, which is nice. I mean, you can put it more outside farther away from the stage. But using the technique of like shortening the time of the keyframe, you can kind of mess around with the speed of that that element. I know in the beginning I said you could put it farther from the stage, but that's not really necessary. We can just make the time of that element shorter, and it'll come in faster or slower. Yeah, and that's kind of what I said for premium. But for premium, we can just leave it now because I do like the way it comes in. But you can use either way. Either technique works. They're just, I guess, a bit different. All right, so quality, we have it there. So now if we hit play, we have quality coming in from the bottom to the top. Now it is a little bit slow, so I'm going to use the technique of just bringing it into the 1 second mark. So if I hit play, it comes a little bit faster. I actually want it a little bit faster, so I'm going to put it to the 0.5 second mark. So let's see how that looks. Let me put this in view here. Actually, yeah, right there. Now if I hit play, and actually it's a little bit fast, so let's put it to the 1 second mark. All right, let me try the hue and the blur on the coffee to 1 second. So maybe it should only be a 1 second animation. That's not bad. Let's set it to a 1 second animation. So it's like really right away the user gets the idea. So premium coffee, the best quality. Yeah, so it's like a nice animation, just catches your attention right away. Very good. Actually, let me set to the 2 second. I just want to see if. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, no, the 1 second. We'll just do that for now. So we'll set it to 1 second, the whole animation. So it's like a 1 second animation where things just come in, and it's a nice effect initially for the user. Okay, so that's the animation part. So now what we want to do is save the animation to be able to use it in Adobe Muse. So I'm going to go to File, Publish Settings. No, actually, sorry. First we have to save this animation. So I'm going to go to File, Save. And I'm going to, once it loads here, I'm going to actually create a new folder. I'm going to call it Edge, or I'm going to call it Rebuild. And I'm going to say Edge Animate, or Coffee Animation. All right, that should work. And then I'm going to go to File, Publish Settings. We don't want to publish it for the web because we're going to be using Adobe Muse. So we just uncheck Web, and we want to check Animate Deployment Package. So I'll click there. And then the publish name, yep, Coffee Animation is great. And for poster image, we can leave it transparent. And we can also leave this unchecked, host runtime files on Adobe CDN. Just look into more into this if you think you'll want this. But for now, I'm just going to leave this unchecked. And then I'm going to click on Publish right over here. Okay, and then actually let me go to File, Publish Settings. And yeah, I can just click Save, and then I can go to File, Publish Settings, and Publish. Either way, as long as you click Publish, it'll publish this animation. And it's going to publish it as a .oam file, which is the file you'll need for your Adobe Muse website. So if I go here to this Rebuild folder that I created, I can find that .oam file in the publish folder right over here. I wouldn't pay attention too much to any of this because all you need to do is click here, go into the publish folder where it says animate package, just double click in there. And then we have here it says coffee animation, which is that file that we saved, which is, yeah, this animation here. Okay, so now I'm going to open up Adobe Muse. I'm going to go to File, New Site. I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to double click on Home here to go to my blank page here. Now to add this animation to Adobe Muse, we simply click, hold, and drag this .oam file onto our Adobe Muse website, and we click once in there to place it in, and there we just place it on our website. And it fits perfectly in there because we set it to the default size of a Adobe Muse website, the width of the stage to a default size. So now if I hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, we have that animation. It looks great. Now one thing, let me just test this real quick. just made the background black, and we have that animation there. So one thing we want to do is set the transparency of the stage, or make the stage transparent. So to do that, we simply go back to Edge Animate, and we click on the stage, and right over here to the left where it says stage, you click here where the white is, and you click on this third bar, and you just drag it all the way down to make it transparent, so the stage won't be white. Okay, and then we just simply go to File, Publish Settings, and click on Publish again. All right, and all we have to do now is go back to Adobe Muse, click on the Edge Animate animation here, go to our Assets panel, right click, and click on Update Asset. So now if we hit Command-Shift-E, we can now see that that the animation is transparent. All right, very good. So I want to change this to this color here. I'm just going to select it from the sample from the browser fill here. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go back to the rebuild of the site, and where it says browser fill, I'm just going to enter in that hex code right in there, and nice, we have that color. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the animation. We just hit Command-Shift-D, and we have the animation there. So the next thing I'm going to do is add that MuseThemes buy now button. So to do that, I'd simply downloaded it from MuseThemes. If you haven't got the MuseThemes subscription, just go to the link in the description area below, and you can go to MuseThemes and download or subscribe to their subscription plan, and they have awesome, amazing widgets that you can use. So basically, I downloaded the widget. It's called, let me go to MuseThemes here. MuseThemes. Oops, MuseThemes.com. And let me click on widgets. Yeah, so basically I downloaded, it's their new widget here, PayPal custom buttons. And when you're subscribed to them, you can just click on download and download it. So here they have an example. So it's very cool if you want to look at some of the examples they have here. All right, so basically, yeah, I just downloaded that widget, and I have it in my library panel here. And so it's right here, PayPal custom buttons, under the MuseThemes toolbox, PayPal custom buttons. So I click, hold, and drag to place onto my Adobe Muse website. And I do like the color that's already there, that orange color, so I'm just going to leave that. But here you can set the button type to default or custom. So you can actually add your custom button. Let's say you had an image. You could simply create a custom button by giving that image the graphic style button. And I'll show you an example of that so we can see an example. But basically for now, I want to set it to default. And then here it says default button style. We can say simple, we can say round, which kind of looks pretty cool too. Like we have that round buy now button. So if I hit Command-Shift-E, you can see when you hover over, it says buy now. I actually like that a lot. It's very nice. And the one that I had in my sample site is the animated. So it's animated. So if we hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, when you scroll over, it tells you the price. So here to change like the text, we could even change the corner radius of this button. So the button text, I want to say purchase, what did I say in the other one? Order your coffee beans today. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. So we'll just say order your coffee beans today, exclamation point, and you can change the font if you'd like as well. That looks good. You can change the font color, the font hover color, and then here where it says PayPal email, you just enter in your PayPal email to get paid through PayPal. And then the product name, say coffee beans, and product price, I'll set it to 12. US dollar is good, live mode is fine. And then you can set your return to URL after payment link here. So if you want them to return to your website after payment, that's a good idea to have them go back to your website. Or if they cancel, they can still go back to your website. Very good. So now I can just center this on my site. And if I hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, we can see order your coffee beans today right there. If you hover over it, it tells you the price. This doesn't work in... Oh wait, no, it does work. Excuse me. I don't know why it wasn't quite doing that before. It works in preview mode as well. When you hit Command-Shift-E, working on your site. I actually uploaded it to my server after I created it, and then it worked. Maybe something wasn't quite working there before, but yeah, it works fine. So order your coffee beans today, and you can click and it'll take you to PayPal. So the next thing I want to do just real quickly is create that fixed background kind of parallax effect we had on that sample site. So I'll just create a rectangle by selecting the rectangle tool, and then I'll bring this down and I'll make this 100% width by clicking the 100% width button right up here. And let's just set it the height to 250 to exactly 250. And then what I'm going to do is go to fill, add image, and I'm going to select this coffee bean image here. Then I'm going to scale to fill, or it's just a bunch of coffee cups. I'm going to position it in the center there. Perfect. Okay, and now to make it fixed so it doesn't move when you scroll, you simply select the rectangle with the image, go to fill, where it says scroll, click on scroll. Then you select motion and set everything to 0. So up and down motion 0, left and right motion 0. Don't worry about the key position, that doesn't matter because everything is set to 0. And then the final motion up and down 0 and the left and right motion 0. Yeah, because everything is 0 and it's not moving, excuse me, you don't need to really worry about the key position. So now if I hit Command-Shift-D, excuse me, and we want to add more scroll space here so that we can actually scroll and see that effect working. So if we hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser and we scroll down, we have that animation. So it's not exactly how I want it. Let me go back to fill, go to scroll. Oh, because the final motion was set to 1. So we want to make sure that everything is set to 0. Okay. So now if I hit Command-Shift-E, there we go, perfect. So that image doesn't move in the background there, and when you scroll, you can see the entire image. Very nice effect. All right, very good. So now what I'm going to show you is the flipping boxes animation, which I got at MuseThemes as well. So I'm going to go back to MuseThemes, and I'm just going to type in flipping. And here it is, flipping boxes. And if I preview, this is the flipping boxes they have in their preview. So again, if you're subscribed, you can just download it from MuseThemes. If you're not subscribed, you can just go through their, go through their subscription process, payment, and just check it out. It's really worth it. They have great widgets. So yeah, after you get their subscription, you can download their widgets and themes as well. They have great themes. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create or how to add that widget to this website or to your Adobe Muse website. So I have it here, empty MuseThemes toolbox, flipping boxes. So I'm going to, actually before I do that, I want to create the panels for the flipping boxes. So what I'm going to do is go to my text tool here. You actually don't create a rectangle, you use the text tool to create the rectangle. So I select text tool, and I'm just going to create a text frame here, and I'm going to select it and create it and set the width to 250 and the height to 300. All right, very nice. And I'm going to fill this this text frame with a color, so I'm just going to select it. Go to fill, click on the drop down, select my sample color tool, and select this color here that's in the star, that brown color, to kind of match the theme of the site. All right, very good. So the next part is pretty important. With this flipping boxes animation, you don't want to, let's say if you want to add text, the way to do that, and I'll just show you kind of what I mean here. You just go to the text tool, and I'll create some text. And I'll call this starter. this is my first starter package for this subscription model. Let's say if I was to create, if it was a real website, so I'm just going to call it starter. And then I'm going to set the size to 30, change the font to Open Sans Light there, center it in the middle, and change the color to white. All right, very good. So what I don't want to do is just place this text on top of here, because then the animation won't work. The way to do this is to cut this text frame. So I'm going to hit Command X or Control X if you're on a Windows computer. So I'll hit Command X to cut that text frame. And I want to go into this text frame and double click as if I'm adding text, but I'm not going to add any text. I'm just going to paste that text frame within this text frame. So I'm going to hit Command V, and there it is. Perfect. So that's the only way we can get this animation to work correctly, is by adding text frames within that initial text frame. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the select tool, and I'm going to drag this text frame all the way to the width of the first text frame, so we have it nice and centered. So I have starter there, and basically, yep, that's there. And then I'm going to hit Command C to copy this, and Command V because I want to add some more text. So I'm going to say, like, I just started drinking coffee. All right, and I'll make this a little bit smaller. Very good. And again, I'm going to hit Command X to cut it, go into this text frame, double click, and Command V to paste. So now we have those two text frames, and you can just drag down to place it differently, to place these text frames differently. Very good. All right, so that's there. And then I added a plus symbol here. So to do that, I'm just gonna go to my text tool, create a text box, and I actually have an SVG icon set that I'll be making available very soon for download. So it's the thin and thick icon pack. And then I'm gonna go to my glyphs section. So I'll click on the plus symbol there, and then I'll change the color to white and make it 72 in size. With glyphs and this icon pack, you can use these icons as fonts, and I'll make a whole other video showing you how to use these glyphs and this icon pack, which is actually a web font that you can use as SVG on your website. Okay, so that'll be another video, but basically I've added this icon, and then I can center it in the middle like I did with the text, and I'm going to hit Command X to cut it, and then go in here, double click, and paste. Alright, and then have it right there, and then just make it a little bit wider, and there we go, we have that plus symbol there, and I'll just move these up a little bit here as well. Alright, and then I added a frame to this panel, so we go to stroke, we set the stroke to, let's say, 5, and then for the color, I'm going to select the sample color tool, and I'm going to select this orange here to add like this orange border to this panel. And yeah, basically that's it. Now we want to copy this this text frame, so I'm going to hit Command C and then Command V to copy to create the backside of this flipping animation. And then I'm just going to change the text to, you know, to the price or what this subscription contains. So I'm going to say 3 bags per month, and then I'll set the price here. So I'll go into this text here, and I'll set the price to $9.99. Very good, and I'll delete that there, the plus sign. All right. So now we have our front panel and our back panel for this flipping animation. So the way we do that is now, so now we're ready to add that flipping animation to the site. So I'm going to go to Library, and I'm going to go to Flipping Boxes. I'm going to click, hold, and drag this widget onto here. And as you can see, we see it says front graphic style name, which says front, and back graphic style name, which says back. And I'll show you why we need those names in a second. So I'm just going to take this widget here and just put it to the upper left hand corner of this panel, and you want to do this for any panels you create that you want it to be a flipping box. All right, so we have that there, And now what we want to do is click on this text frame, just on, you know, this initial text frame, and we want to go to graphic styles, and right here on this kind of like this paper symbol, like folded paper, this paper symbol with a folded corner, you just click there to add a new style. Then you double click on style, and we want to call this front. All right, so this is telling this widget that this panel, see how it says front graphic style name, says front. So because we assigned the graphic style name front to this panel, the widget knows that that's the front panel for this animation. So now we click on the back panel. We just click here on the initial text frame, and we click on new graphic style. It's a symbol right here to add a new graphic style. So we click there, then we click on style, the new style it created. We double click, and we just call this back. All right. So that's pretty much it. And now what I want to do is right click on this back panel, right click, arrange, and send to back. And then I want to place it right underneath the front panel. Very good. And that's basically it for the flipping animation. So if I hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, I'll scroll down, and then we have that flipping animation. And the plus symbol is kind of off a little bit, so let's go back in here, and I'll just move it up a little bit. There we go, and bring it in. There, that looks good. So I'll hit Command-Shift-E, and nice. I can move the elements up a little bit, but just to save some time, we'll just leave it. Actually, kind of a perfectionist sometimes, so let's just move it up. Yeah, there we go. Command-Shift-E. And there's the flipping animation. So starter, I just started drinking coffee, 3 bags per month, $9.99. And then I can just copy this widget here, the PayPal button widget, Command-C to copy, and then Command-V to paste. And then I'll click the widget options, and I'll just change here the button text to starter. And then I'll change the price down here to $9.99. Oops. Yeah, there we go, $9.99. Delete those zeros there. All right, that's basically all I want to change, and I can bring this in because it's smaller and just place it right underneath there. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the flipping boxes. Basically, if you want to have multiple flipping boxes, you just go to the library panel. You click, hold, and drag the flipping boxes animation onto your Adobe Muse website, and instead of front, you want to call it like front 1 and back 1, or name it anything you want, but it has to be different than the first flipping boxes you added. Then the first flipping boxes widget you added. And when you create multiple flipping boxes, just change the graphic style name, and then when you assign a new graphic style, just be sure to create that new graphic style name, and your flipping boxes will work fine. You can have multiple flipping boxes. All right, I'll delete that, and you can have your flipping boxes flip horizontally reversed, vertical flip, reverse vertical flip, diagonal flip, and reverse diagonal flip. So if I do vertical flip, we can see it flips vertically. And then I can click on the widget again, and I can do a diagonal flip. Okay. And basically that just flips diagonally, and then the reverse is just does it the same but in the reverse motion. Then I can click on here, the price starter, and that'll take me to PayPal. Very good. Here, and one thing I forgot to do, let me just select this, bring it down, and I just want to call this subscription plan. And set it to, nope, I think it was 48. And we'll say sans, open sans, light, center it in the middle, and then this brown color here, we'll set it to that brown color. All right, center it right there on the site. Yeah, that looks good. And I'll move this down a little bit more. All right, nice. All right, and then I think at the end I just added like a footer down here. All right, let me go to fill, or just the drop down color, excuse me, and then sample this brown color here. All right, oops. All right, cool. Yep, there goes that brown color. So now if I hit Command-Shift-E, we have that animation. We can order our coffee beans today. We have this cool fixed background parallax effect, and we have the flipping boxes animation, and we can purchase again here as well. And this will take us to PayPal. Very good. Looks great. They can purchase through PayPal, and then after they purchase, it'll go right back to this website. And I'll just move this down a little bit here. There, that looks good. And one more time, Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser. Animation, order your coffee beans today. Fixed background parallax effect, subscription plan with the flipping boxes from MuseThemes, and the PayPal button from MuseThemes. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video on using Edge Animate, MuseThemes, and Adobe Muse to create kind of an e-commerce website with animation and effects to really add a lot of intrigue to your business or to your website, or any idea that you might have where you would want to use these tools. So yeah, these tools and programs and animations. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. If you like this video, please subscribe below. You'll get access to the Muse for You private community. You'll also get news and updates on new video tutorials that come out from the Muse for You YouTube channel. Also in the description area below are links to my website starter kit. So there's web hosting. There's Muse-Themes where you can get widgets. There's Dollar Photo Club where you can get awesome images for $1. It's just amazing. And there's also free resources as well to different websites that I like to use, or that I've used now and again for my web design. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video tutorial, please subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Thanks.